In the distant future, humanity had spread across the stars. They built cities on faraway planets and lived in peace for many years. But peace never lasts forever. One day, a powerful empire called the Cryo Dominion appeared at the edge of human space. The Cryos were not like humans. They were tall, with glowing eyes and metallic armor that shimmered in the light. Their ships were massive, bristling with weapons that could destroy entire planets. The leader of the Cryos was a ruthless warlord named Farnuk. He sent a message to Earth, the heart of humanity's alliance. The message was simple but terrifying. "Surrender your outer colonies to us," he demanded. "If you do not, we will wipe you from existence." Earth's leaders were shocked. They knew they couldn't fight the Cryos. Their technology was too advanced, their armies too strong. The people of Earth watched the skies with fear, wondering if this was the end of everything they had built. In the middle of this chaos, two people were called to a secret meeting. One was Alex Carter, a military strategist known for his sharp mind and calm demeanor. The other was Rachel Monroe, a brilliant scientist who had spent her life studying ancient projects. They were taken to a hidden room deep underground, where the Global Defense Council waited. The council members looked grim as they explained the situation. The Krylos fleet was already moving toward Earth's colonies. If nothing was done, millions would die. Rachel stepped forward. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly. "There is one option," she said. "It's risky, and it's something we've kept hidden for centuries. It's called the Cryo Warrior Initiative." She paused, letting the words sink in. Long ago, scientists created soldiers who were stronger, faster, and smarter than ordinary humans. These soldiers were placed in cryogenic stasis, frozen in time until they were needed. We hoped we'd never have to use them. Alex frowned. "Are you saying we should wake them up? After all this time?" Rachel nodded. "Yes, if anyone can stand against the Krylos, it's them." The council agreed, and Alex and Rachel were sent to a secret facility buried beneath the ice of Antarctica. The facility was cold and silent, filled with rows of pods glowing faintly in the darkness. Each pod contained a soldier, perfectly preserved. Rachel walked between the rows, her breath visible in the freezing air. Finally, she stopped at two pods near the center. "These are the ones," she said. "Jack Harper and Lisa Bennett." With a push of a button, the pods began to open. Steam poured out as the icy covers slid away. Inside, two figures lay motionless. Jack was tall and muscular, his face marked by scars from battles long past. Lisa was smaller but wiry, her features sharp and intelligent. Slowly, they opened their eyes, blinking against the bright lights. "Where am I?" Jack asked, his voice rough from disuse. Rachel stepped closer. "You're on Earth. It's been a long time since you were last awake." Jack sat up, looking around in confusion. "How long?" "Centuries," Alex replied. "We need your help. Humanity is in danger." Lisa sat up too, rubbing her temples. "Danger? From what?" "The Krylos Dominion," Rachel said. "They're an alien empire, and they've given us an ultimatum. Surrender or be destroyed." Jack's expression darkened. "And you think we can stop them?" "We don't know," Alex admitted. "But you're our best chance." For a moment, Jack was silent. Then he stood, towering over everyone in the room. "Fine," he said. "Tell us what we need to do." Lisa stood beside him, her eyes narrowing with determination. Together, they followed Alex and Rachel out of the facility, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Little did they know, their journey would change the fate of humanity forever. Jack Harper and Lisa Bennett stepped out of the icy facility into a world that felt both familiar and alien. The air was cold, but it carried none of the scents they remembered from their time. No smell of grass or trees, just the faint metallic tang of machines. Rachel Monroe and Alex Carter led them to a waiting transport vehicle, its sleek design unlike anything Jack or Lisa had ever seen. As they drove through the barren landscape of Antarctica, Lisa stared out the window, her mind racing. What happened to Earth? She asked finally. It doesn't look like this in the records. Alex glanced at her from the driver's seat. Things changed, he said simply. We expanded too fast, used up resources we couldn't replace. Now most of Earth is overcrowded or polluted. Only the colonies kept us going, for a while. Anyway, Jack crossed his arms, his jaw tight. So you woke us up because you messed everything up. Rachel turned to face him, her expression calm but firm. We didn't wake you up because of our mistakes. We woke you up because humanity is on the brink of extinction. If the Krylos take Earth, it's over. No second chances. Lisa frowned. And you expect us to fix it? Just like that? We don't expect anything, Alex said. But you were created for moments like this. You're stronger, faster, smarter than anyone alive today. If anyone can stop the Krylos, it's you. The conversation fell silent as the vehicle descended into an underground base. Here, the walls were lined with screens showing maps of star systems, schematics of alien ships, and footage of the Krylos fleet advancing toward Earth's colonies. Scientists and soldiers moved quickly between stations, their faces tense with urgency. Over the next few days, Jack and Lisa began training with modern equipment. At first, Jack struggled to adjust. The weapons were lighter, more precise, but they lacked the raw power he was used to. Still, his instincts were sharp, and he quickly mastered them. Lisa, meanwhile, worked with engineers to modify outdated ships and armor. Her hands moved deftly over circuits and wires, her mind solving problems faster than anyone else could keep up. Despite their progress, tension simmered beneath the surface. Jack distrusted the leaders who had let humanity fall so far. He questioned every decision, every order. One evening, after a particularly grueling session, he confronted Alex in the command center. Why should I fight for people who've done nothing but fail? Jack demanded, his voice low but intense. You had centuries to prepare for something like this. Instead, you squandered everything. Alex met his gaze without flinching. You're right. We failed. But blaming us won't change what's coming. Right now, billions of lives depend on whether you decide to step up or walk away. What will you choose? Before Jack could answer, Lisa walked in, holding a modified plasma rifle. She handed it to him. This is what we'll use, she said. I upgraded it based on your feedback. It's better now. Jack examined the weapon, testing its weight and balance. For the first time, a flicker of approval crossed his face. Not bad, he muttered. Lisa looked at Alex. We'll fight, she said firmly. Not because we trust you, but because this is what we were made to do. Humanity might be flawed, but it's worth saving. Alex nodded, relief washing over him. Good, because we need you. As the days passed, the team grew closer. Elena Rodriguez, a young pilot with fiery determination, joined their ranks. She admired Jack's tactical brilliance and Lisa's ingenuity, and she made sure they knew it. With you two on our side, she said one day, we might actually stand a chance. Jack smirked. Don't get ahead of yourself, kid. We're not heroes. No, Lisa said quietly. But maybe we can be enough. Unbeknownst to them, the Krylos fleet was already closing in. Warlord Varnak watched the reports of their preparations with growing interest. They think they can resist us, he sneered to his advisors. Let them try. Their defiance will only make their destruction sweeter. Back on Earth, Jack and Lisa prepared for the battle ahead, unaware that their actions would soon determine the fate of humanity. The days turned into weeks as Jack Harper and Lisa Bennett trained harder than they ever had before. Every morning, they woke up early to practice combat drills, study alien technology, and test new weapons. The soldiers around them watched in awe as Jack moved with unmatched speed and precision, taking down simulated enemies with ease. Lisa, on the other hand, spent hours in the workshop, tweaking designs and building tools that could give humanity an edge against the Krylos. Despite their progress, trust remained a challenge. Jack still didn't fully believe in the leaders who had called them back to life. He saw their hesitation, their fear, and it frustrated him. One afternoon, after a long session of tactical planning, Jack confronted Alex Carter in the command center. "You keep saying we're humanity's last hope," Jack said, his voice sharp. "But how do I know you won't just throw us away when things get tough? You've already abandoned so much." Alex sighed, leaning against the table covered with maps and schematics. "I can't promise you won't get hurt, Jack. This isn't going to be easy. But I can promise you this. We're doing everything we can to make sure your sacrifice means something. If we fail, it won't just be because of me or you. It'll be because we gave up." Lisa walked in just then, carrying a small device she had been working on. She placed it on the table between them. "This might help," she said, changing the subject. "It's a cloaking module for our ships. If we can stay hidden long enough, we might be able to hit the Krylos where it hurts." Jack picked up the device, examining it closely. "Not bad," he admitted. "But will it work against their sensors?" "It should," Lisa replied. "Their tech is advanced, but not perfect. There's always a flaw if you look hard enough." Elena Rodriguez joined them moments later, her usual energy replaced by seriousness. "We've got intel," she said. "The Krylos are targeting one of our outer colonies, Proxima Station. They're using it as a staging ground for their attack on Earth." Alex's face darkened. "If they take Proxima, they'll have a clear path to Earth. We need to stop them." Jack nodded, his mind already racing through strategies. "Then let's hit them there. Hit them hard." Over the next few days, the team prepared for their first real mission. Elena trained with Jack, learning how to anticipate his moves during dogfights. Lisa worked tirelessly to upgrade their ship, the Eclipse Asterisk, equipping it with plasma cannons and reinforced shields. Even Alex joined in, helping coordinate supply lines and communication networks. As the launch date approached, tensions ran high. Many of the soldiers doubted they could win, but Jack's confidence inspired them. He reminded everyone why they were fighting, not for glory or revenge, but for survival. For the chance to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. On the eve of the mission, Lisa found Jack sitting alone in the hangar, staring at the Eclipse Asterisk. She sat beside him, handing him a cup of coffee. "You okay?" she asked. Jack took a sip, his expression unreadable. "Do you think we're ready?" Lisa hesitated, then nodded. "No one's ever really ready for something like this. But we've done all we can. That's enough." Jack smiled faintly. "You always sound so sure." "Because someone has to," Lisa said with a shrug. "Besides, if we don't believe in ourselves, who will?" The next morning, the team gathered aboard the Eclipse Asterisk. The air was thick with anticipation as Alex gave them final instructions over the comms. "Remember," he said, "this isn't just about winning. It's about showing the Krylos that humanity isn't afraid to fight back." As the ship lifted off, Jack stood at the helm, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Lisa manned the engineering station, her fingers flying over the controls. Elena grinned from the pilot's seat, eager to prove herself. For the first time since waking up, Jack felt a spark of hope. They weren't just Cryo warriors anymore. They were humanity's chance at survival. Unbeknownst to them, Warlord Varnock watched their movements with growing interest. "So the humans send their best," he muttered. "Let's see if they're worth my time." The Eclipse Asterisk soared through the vast emptiness of space, its engines humming softly as it approached Proxima Station. Jack Harper stood at the helm, his sharp eyes scanning the screens in front of him. Lisa Bennett monitored the ship's systems, her fingers moving quickly over the controls to ensure everything was running smoothly. Elena Rodriguez piloted the vessel with steady hands, her focus unshakable as they neared their target. Proxima Station was a small but vital colony on the edge of human space. It served as a supply hub and a defensive outpost, but now it was under attack by the Krylos Dominion. The team could see flashes of light in the distance, Explosions from the battle raging between the colony's defenders and the alien fleet. The sight filled them with both anger and determination. "We're too late," Lisa said quietly, her voice tinged with frustration. "They've already breached the outer defenses." Jack clenched his jaw. "Not yet. If we can draw their attention away from the station, the colonists might have a chance to regroup." Elena nodded. "I'll take us in low. We can use the asteroid field to mask our approach." As the Eclipse slipped into the shadow of the asteroids, Jack devised a risky plan. "We'll send out decoy signals," he explained. "Make them think we're leading a larger force. Once they chase us, we'll circle back and hit their command ship." "It's dangerous," Lisa warned. "If they catch us, we won't last long." "It's the only shot we've got," Jack replied firmly. "Are you with me?" Lisa hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Always." The team activated the cloaking module Lisa had built, making the Eclipse nearly invisible to enemy sensors. They launched the decoy signals, creating false readings that mimicked an entire squadron of ships. Within minutes, several Krylos cruisers turned their attention away from Proxima Station and began pursuing the Phantom fleet. "Gotcha," Elena muttered with a grin as she guided the Eclipse deeper into the chaos. The ship darted between asteroids, narrowly avoiding laser fire from the pursuing enemies. Lisa kept a close eye on the shields, rerouting power to keep them stable as explosions lit up the darkness around them. When the time was right, Jack gave the order to break off and circle back toward the Krylos command ship. The massive vessel loomed ahead, bristling with weapons and glowing with ominous energy. "That's our target," Jack said, pointing to a vulnerable section near the ship's engine core. "Take out their propulsion, and they'll be sitting ducks." Elena maneuvered the Eclipse into position, while Lisa charged the plasma cannons. With precise timing, they unleashed a barrage of fire, striking the command ship's engines. The impact sent shockwaves rippling through the alien vessel, causing it to drift helplessly in space. The Krylos fleet scrambled to respond, but the damage had already been done. Their flagship was crippled, and their forces were scattered. Seeing their chance, the defenders of Proxima Station launched a counterattack, driving the remaining Krylos ships into retreat. Back aboard the Eclipse, the team let out a collective sigh of relief. For the first time since waking up, they had faced the Krylos, and won. "That was insane," Elena said, laughing nervously. "Did we really just do that?" Lisa smiled faintly. "Looks like we did." Jack leaned back in his seat, his expression unreadable. "It's not over yet," he said. "But for now, we've bought humanity some time." As they prepared to return to Earth, news of their victory spread quickly. The people of Proxima Station cheered, hailing the Cryo warriors as heroes. Even Alex Carter's voice crackled over the comms, filled with pride. "You've given us hope," he said. "Keep this up, and we might actually stand a chance." But deep in space, Warlord Varnock watched the events unfold with cold fury. His command ship may have been damaged, but he was far from defeated. "So, the humans have teeth after all," he growled. "Let them enjoy their little win. When I come for them next, there will be no escape." The victory at Proxima Station gave humanity a brief moment of hope, but the team aboard the Eclipse knew it wasn't enough. The Krylos Dominion was still out there, and Warlord Varnock would not forgive their defiance. Jack Harper, Lisa Bennett, and Elena Rodriguez returned to Earth to regroup, but the mood in the command center was tense. Everyone knew the next battle would be far worse. Alex Carter stood before a large screen showing the layout of the Krylos fleet. Varnock's flagship, the Obsidian Blade is the heart of their operation, he explained. It's heavily armed and carries a weapon capable of destroying entire planets. If we don't stop it, Earth is finished. Jack crossed his arms, his expression grim. "So we hit them where it hurts. Take out the ship and their leader with it." "It's not that simple," Rachel Monroe added, stepping forward. The obsidian blade is surrounded by smaller ships at all times. Getting close will be nearly impossible. Lisa frowned, studying the schematics. What about their shields? Is there a weak point? Rachel nodded. There's a small gap near the engine core, but it's heavily guarded. Even if you could get inside, you'd need someone who knows how to disable their systems quickly. I'll do it, Lisa said without hesitation. I've studied enough of their tech to figure it out. Jack turned to her, his voice firm. Not alone. We go together. Alina spoke up, her tone resolute. And I'll fly us in. If anyone can get past their defenses, it's me. Alex looked at the three of them, his expression a mix of pride and worry. This mission will be dangerous. If you're caught, there's no backup coming for you. We didn't sign up for easy, Jack replied. Let's make a plan. Over the next few days, the team prepared for their most daring mission yet. Lisa worked tirelessly to upgrade the Eclipse adding extra shielding and equipping it with experimental EMP charges to disrupt the Cryo systems. Jack trained the crew in hand-to-hand combat, knowing they might have to fight their way through enemy forces once inside the obsidian blade. Alina practiced evasive maneuvers, pushing the ship to its limits in simulations. As the launch date approached, Alex called the team into the command center for one final briefing. Remember, he said, this isn't just about stopping Varnock. It's about showing humanity that we can fight back, that we won't give up. Jack nodded, his mind already focused on the task ahead. We'll get it done. The night before the mission, Lisa found Jack sitting alone in the hangar, staring at the Eclipse. She sat beside him, handing him a cup of coffee. You thinking about tomorrow? She asked. Yeah, Jack admitted. What if we fail? What if we're not enough? Lisa smiled faintly. We've faced worse odds before, and if we don't try, who will? Jack let out a deep breath. You always know what to say, don't you? Someone has to keep you grounded, Lisa teased. The next morning, the team gathered aboard the Eclipse. Alina took her place at the controls, her hand steady despite the weight of what lay ahead. Lisa double-checked the EMP charges, ensuring they were ready to deploy. Jack stood at the helm, his eyes sharp and focused. As the ship lifted off, Alex's voice came over the comms. Good luck out there. Humanity's counting on you. Alina grinned as she steered the Eclipse toward the stars. Time to show the Krylos what we're made of. Unbeknownst to them, Warlord Varnock watched their movements from the bridge of the obsidian blade. His glowing eyes narrowed as he studied the data streaming in. So, the humans send their best again, he muttered. Let's see how long they last. The stage was set for the final confrontation. The fate of humanity rested on the shoulders of three unlikely heroes, each determined to prove that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage and ingenuity could prevail. The Eclipse approached the obsidian blade under the cover of darkness, its cloaking module masking their presence. Alina Rodriguez piloted the ship with precision, weaving through debris fields and avoiding patrols as they closed in on the massive alien vessel. The Krylos flagship loomed ahead, its sleek black surface glinting faintly in the starlight. It was a fortress bristling with weapons, but the team had one advantage: the element of surprise. Hold steady, Jack Harper said, his voice calm despite the tension in the air. We're almost in range. Lisa Bennett monitored the sensors, her eyes scanning for any sign of detection. So far, their stealth tactics were working. No alarms yet, she whispered. But we won't stay hidden forever. Alina guided the Eclipse closer, aiming for a narrow gap near the engine core that Rachel Monroe had identified as a weak point. With a final burst of speed, they slipped past the outer defenses and docked at an access port on the underside of the ship. The team quickly suited up in modified combat gear, arming themselves with plasma rifles and EMP charges. We go in quiet, Jack instructed. Stick to the plan. Lisa, you disable their shields. Alina, cover us. I'll handle anyone who gets in our way. The trio moved into the alien vessel, their footsteps muffled by the metallic floors. The corridors of the obsidian blade were dimly lit and eerily silent, save for the hum of machinery. They encountered their first group of Cryo soldiers around a corner. Jack signaled for Alina to take position, while he flanked the enemy from behind. In seconds, the skirmish was over, leaving the hallway clear. Lisa worked quickly to hack into a nearby control panel, rerouting power away from the ship's shields. Her fingers danced over the unfamiliar interface, sweat beading on her forehead. Almost there, she muttered. A loud alarm blared suddenly, shattering the silence. They know we're here. Move, Jack barked, grabbing her arm and pulling her forward. Alina fired her rifle down the corridor, holding off waves of Krylos troops as they advanced deeper into the ship. The team reached the engine core, a massive chamber filled with glowing conduits and pulsating energy fields. Lisa immediately set to work planting EMP charges, her movements frantic but precise. "Give me 2 minutes," she said, her voice tight with urgency. Jack and Alina formed a defensive line, fending off relentless attacks from Krylos soldiers. Plasma bolts ricocheted off walls, filling the air with sparks and smoke. Jack fought with brutal efficiency, his every move calculated to protect his team. Alina's sharp reflexes kept them alive, her shots finding their mark even as enemies closed in from all sides. Finally, Lisa stood up, wiping her hands on her suit. "Charges are set. Let's get out of here." "No," Jack shouted, spotting Warlord Varnock entering the chamber. The towering alien leader strode toward them, his glowing eyes locked onto Jack. "You don't run from this," Varnock growled. "You die here." Jack stepped forward, gripping his weapon tightly. "If I'm going down, you're coming with me." The battle between Jack and Varnock was fierce and chaotic. The warlord swung his blade-like weapon with devastating force, but Jack dodged and countered, using his agility to stay alive. Behind him, Lisa worked frantically to activate the EMP charges remotely, knowing time was running out. With a final blow, Jack disarmed Varnock, driving him back against the edge of the engine core. Before the warlord could recover, Lisa triggered the charges. The room erupted in a blinding flash of light, and the obsidian blade shuddered violently as its systems failed. "Let's go," Jack yelled, grabbing Lisa and dragging her toward the exit. Alina led the way, firing blindly to clear their path as alarms screamed throughout the ship. They barely made it back to the Eclipse launching just as the obsidian blade began to collapse in on itself. From a safe distance, they watched the flagship explode in a fiery burst, taking Varnock and much of the Krylos fleet with it. Back on Earth, news of their success spread quickly. Humanity celebrated their unlikely heroes. But Jack, Lisa, and Alina remained somber, knowing the cost of victory. As they gazed at the stars, they realized their fight was far from over. But for now, humanity had been given a second chance. The destruction of the obsidian blade marked a turning point in humanity's war against the Krylos Dominion. The remaining alien ships, now leaderless and disorganized, began to retreat from human space. News of the victory spread across Earth and its colonies, sparking celebrations that lit up cities and outposts alike. For the first time in years, people dared to hope that peace might be possible. Jack Harper, Lisa Bennett, and Alina Rodriguez returned to Earth as heroes. Though they didn't feel like ones, they stood together on a balcony overlooking a crowded square, watching as thousands of people cheered below. Banners with their names fluttered in the wind, and children held up drawings of the Eclipse. Despite the adoration, Jack kept his arms crossed, his expression unreadable. "They're calling us saviors," Lisa said softly, leaning against the railing. "But we just did what we had to do." Alina grinned, her usual confidence returning after the stress of battle. "Yeah, but we did it pretty damn well, if you ask me." Jack shook his head. "This isn't over. Varnuk may be gone, but the Krylos aren't finished. They'll regroup, and when they come back, they'll be angrier than ever." Alex Carter joined them, his face lined with exhaustion but also relief. "You're right," he admitted. "This is only the beginning, but because of you, we have time to prepare, time to rebuild." Rachel Monroe stepped forward, holding a datapad filled with plans. "We've already started integrating the Cryo warriors into our defense forces. You two showed us what's possible. Imagine what an entire army of soldiers like you could achieve." Lisa frowned, glancing at Jack. "An army? That wasn't part of the deal." "It's not about creating weapons," Rachel assured her. "It's about giving humanity a fighting chance. With your help, we can train others to adapt and survive." Jack hesitated, his mind racing. He still didn't fully trust the leaders who had woken him and Lisa from stasis, but he couldn't deny the logic of their plan. Humanity needed protectors, people willing to stand between innocent lives and those who sought to destroy them. "Fine," Jack said finally. "But we do it our way. No more hiding, no more waiting until the last minute. If we're going to fight for this species, we're doing it on our terms." Rachel nodded. "Agreed." In the weeks that followed, Jack and Lisa threw themselves into training new recruits. They taught them combat skills, survival tactics, and how to think like warriors. Elena became one of their most trusted allies, helping lead flight simulations and teaching pilots how to outmaneuver enemy ships. Together, they forged a new generation of defenders, ready to face whatever threats lay ahead. As the days passed, Jack found himself reflecting on everything they had been through. He thought about the sacrifices made, not just by him and his team, but by countless others who had fought to protect humanity. Slowly, his anger began to fade, replaced by a quiet sense of purpose. One evening, as the sun set over Earth's scared landscape, Lisa joined him on the roof of the training facility. She handed him a cup of coffee, her smile faint but genuine. "What happens next?" she asked. Jack took a sip, gazing at the horizon. "We keep going. We build, we fight, we survive. As long as there's breath in us, we don't give up." Lisa nodded. "For better or worse, this is our home now." Below them, the lights of the city flickered to life, a reminder of all they had fought to protect. Humanity was flawed, messy, and often its own worst enemy. But it was also resilient. And as long as people like Jack and Lisa were willing to stand and fight, it would endure. Far beyond the stars, fragments of the Krylos fleet drifted silently through space. Somewhere among them, whispers of revenge stirred. But for now, humanity had earned a fragile peace, a chance to heal, to grow, and to dream of brighter days ahead.